Alright, hey crafters, crocheters, knitters, yarn enthusiasts. Today should be Wednesday, October 5th, and I say that because I film the videos a little bit in advance. Sometimes it's a day, sometimes it's a week, but I have to go a little bit ahead. My name is Jenny. Welcome back to Granny Square Peg. If you're new here, I created this channel to help me along with my journey with owning too much stuff. From hooks where, I've only got two hands and I only use one hook at a time and I've got like 50 hooks, I don't know. And then my yarn stash, which is hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of balls of yarn and cakes and hanks and skeins or skeins, depending on how you say it. I have way too much. And this is me going through all of my stuff and deciding what to purge. And by purge, I'm either selling it, donating it, or throwing it away because some of it can be a little older or damaged. So this is my journey in owning too much crochet stuff. And then all the books I have and the patterns and the magazines, and then I have blankets. I'm a blanket maker. Okay, some people can specialize with their crocheting. A lot of people just make hats all the time or make scarves all the time, or those little stuffed animals. Me, I'm a blanket maker. Big blankets, little blankets, doesn't matter. I love making blankets, right? But I have a whole pile of blankets. There's somewhere between 50 or 70 blankets that are in various stages of completion. And I'd like to get them all finished and get them all done and do something with them other than let them just sit around in a pile in my house. Because my house is, I keep saying my house is too small. Actually, my house is probably the right size. I just have too much stuff in it. I have no storage space. So, I have yarn from two different places. When I packed it all up and put it all away, some of it I sent to my mom's house. She has a closed-in patio porch type area, and I had put a whole bunch of yarn over there. And then the rest of my stuff, I put it in boxes, bins, and bags and put it in my shed. And a couple months ago, my husband and I found out our shed had, we got a leak in the roof, and then we got squirrels living in the shed. And the squirrels had gotten into one of my bins of yarn and were living in it. So everything in that bin got thrown away. The rest of the stuff was brought into the house. Eventually, I had to go to my mom's and pick up my stuff at mom's house because that's been sitting there for almost 3 years. So this is me going through yarn bins. Some of them are random yarn bins, especially the ones from my shed, because I just threw everything in the bins and just threw it in the shed. At my mom's, it's a little bit more organized, and I had sent some of it over in big moving boxes from Home Depot. Well, my mom replaced my moving boxes with bins. So now I've got bins on top of bins on top of bins in my house, and so I am slowly working through it. And while yarn is a good thing and it's a happy thing, not when you have too much, when you cannot handle the inventory that you have and the sheer amount of it. I've been feeling a lot of embarrassment and a lot of shame about it, but it is what it is. Did I have a shopping problem and buy too much? Yeah. I had good intentions. I had a lot of creative ideas when I bought the yarn and be like, oh, I can do this, or oh, I can do that. But I overextended myself because you only have so much time in a day and you only have two hands to do it. So that's my story. That's what I'm doing here. So today is two more bins from my mom's house. It was a big moving box, and she put it in the bins for me. So one bin should be all Bernat Super Value, which is similar to Red Heart Super Saver. It's 100% acrylic, and it comes in 6, 7, 8 ounce skeins. And then the other bin is mostly Red Heart. It's variegated colors, and I do have a job for that. So let's take a look, see what I've got. It's allergy season for me, so forgive me for the constant clearing of the throat. So this is Bernat Super Value. Okay? 100% acrylic, like Red Heart Super Saver. It is a number 4 medium weight, but it is also called worsted weight, Aran weight, and it can also be called 4-ply. So this is a 7-ounce skein, or 197 grams. 426 yards and 389 meters. I'm sorry, it's that time of day where the husband and the kids are texting me. I'm sorry. Let's see. Number 4, medium worsted Aran weight, 4-ply. Color fast, no dye lot, shrink proof. Ooh. Made in Canada with imported fibers, which means the fibers came from somewhere else and then they assembled them in Canada. I like Bernat Super Value because Red Heart Super Saver has always had some kind of scratchiness to it, a little bit of harshness to it. So the other companies, when they're making 100% acrylic yarn, they want to compete with Red Heart, but they want to be softer than Red Heart, and then they want to have a lower price point than Red Heart, you know. And Bernat did that. This white that I'm holding on to is actually pretty soft compared to Red Heart Super Saver. And I'm not saying anything bad about Red Heart, because it is what it is. A lot of us learn on it, and we buy it because it is cheap. It's also because it's durable. It can handle washing in the washer, drying in the dryer. It can handle kids, cats, babies, picnics, hiding, hanging out in the back seat of the car to keep the kids warm in the winter. So I have a lot of Bernat in this bin. I have 1 skein of white, 2 of white. Because like when you go shopping for yarn, when you buy white, you really should buy 2, 3, 4 skeins of it, because even though they say that there's no dye lot, a lot of times the manufacturing date that's on there, you really want them to be as close together as possible, because you really don't want to have a difference in your yarn. Like, I'm sitting here and I'm looking at these. These two were bought on separate days. They have different manufacturing dates, but this one is a brighter, cleaner white than this one, even though they are both white. And they both say no dye lots. You don't have to worry about it being in a dye lot, but seriously, you gotta be careful. You want to make sure your manufacturing dates match up. So this way you know they came from the same batch. Yeah, because even these two. This one is a cleaner white than this one. So there we go. I've got 4 skeins of Bernat Super Value in the white. And what did I say they are? Are they 7 ounces? Yeah, 7 ounces. Okay, so that's a good chunk of yarn. I like working with it. Ooh, alright, here's a pretty color. I love these lighter shades of green. You guys know, with my crochet along I just did with the Karen cakes, I love that pistachio, which is a lot of greens. So, like, green's not my favorite color. I just enjoy working with it for whatever reason. I don't know. So, this one is Soft Fern. It's a good color. I like that. Okay, so here is a nice neutral color. It is a chocolate brown. It's actually pretty dark for a brown. It could almost pass for black if you're not too close up to it. It's brown. They called it chocolate. Let's see. Dark mauve. I have 2 of these. The purple shade. Right? I wouldn't say dark mauve, though. Maybe. I like it. I like these shades of colors that they're not big and bright and primary colors, but they're not so light that they're pastel like Easter colors. I like them in the middle where they've got a bit of an earth tone to them. I like this purple, or dark mauve as they call it. It's a good color. And this one is Redwood Heather. Got 2 of those. Bought them on 2 different dates. And one is a little darker than the other. I mean, they're so similar, you wouldn't know unless you're somebody who works with yarn all the time. So there is some Bernat Super Value of Redwood Heather. It's a good color too. I like that. All right. We've got a skein of hot blue. I don't know if it's hot, but it's blue. Actually, I do enjoy working with blue. I do prefer lighter shades of blue versus darker shades of blue. I like this. It's a nice color. And even this one, it's called navy. It is a good color, but I'm not a big fan of working with it though. Not because it's Bernat Super Value, but because of the color itself. Oh, I don't know why I keep buying the blues. I think they're pretty, but I don't enjoy working with them. So this one I might let this one go. I might sell that one. I've got another shade of blue called Denim Heather. So it's related to the Redwood Heather. Yeah, it's got a bit of heathering in there. It's so subtle though. Actually, I like that. Kind of reminds me of a pair of jeans with the color that's going on. Actually, I kind of like that. I wonder if they still make it. Oh, there's a good color. So Bernat changed their labels at some point. Okay, here's an older label. It's darker color. It's a blue with some red and white on there. So that's an older label, okay? And then here's their newer ones. I changed the label to a white color. It's still got black and red on there. I actually like the newer label. It's easier on the eyes to read it. Alright, so this color, what did I say? It's called Peacock. And yeah, I mean, as bright as that is, it's a good peacock color. Alright, so all of these are full skeins. They haven't been used. They haven't been used on anything. And I'd say I could probably get rid of half of it. The brown, the blue, all of the white. I do like that soft fern. I like the peacock. I can get rid of the hot blue, but I do like the redwood heather and the denim heather and that mauve. I do like those. So, like, the goal is not to get rid of all of the yarn that I've bought over the years, just at least half of it. At least half. That is my goal. And then I have some partials where it was used for something somewhere. This is walnut. Now this is more my shade of brown. I'm not, the brown that is so dark it almost looks black is not my favorite. I prefer the warmer shades of brown and beige and tan. I prefer these warmer shades, well, they call the other one chocolate, but this is called walnut. I like this color, as you can tell, because I used it somewhere. Yeah, I like that one. And then I've got, this one is called Gray Rag. It is marl. And marl means that 2 or 3 strands, I'm saying at least 3, are white, and then 1 is gray, and then they wrap them around. Because it's 4-ply. 4-ply means 4 strands of fibers that are twisted to make the yarn. Okay, so 3 of these fibers are white, 1 of them is gray. So it's marl, M-A-R-L-E. So the color, they called this Gray Rag. I used this in a baby blanket and mixed it with some red. And it actually came out really nice. It's in my pile of blankets that I'm going through this year, okay? And I'm going through all of my stuff, partly because I have too much of it and consumerism, and I've got a little bit of a hoarding issue going on. But also, I had damaged my rotator cuff, and it took almost a year for it to heal. So in that year, I couldn't crochet at all. So I'm going through a lot of things. I'm going through the process of a lot of things. So I did enjoy this color. Don't know what I want to do with this leftovers, though. Alright, and then I've got this red color. It's called Rouge. It's almost got a little bit like a brick red feel to it. I enjoy this color. This is my third, fourth, fifth skein of this. I will put the. I enjoy this, that I have done this in numerous other blankets, because if you guys know, I like blankets with lots of color, lots of stripes, lots of color blocking. I've used this in multiple blankets. I do enjoy this color. I don't even know if they make this anymore, because this label is so old. Oh, according to my notes on the label, I found this at the thrift store. Interesting. Alright, so that is Rouge. And then I've got some leftover... Alright, here's a word for you. It's the flower. Peony? Peony? How do you say it? I say it both ways depending on where I'm at in a sentence. So, peony pink. Or peony pink. I love this. Pink for me is such a happy color to work with. I don't know. Ooh, mix that with that soft fern. Oh, the pink and the green. They'd go well together. Which I know that because I actually just did that in another blanket that I'm working on. Put some pink right next to the green. Alright, so that is the last of what's in this bin. That was in my box. I stored at my mom's. That's all Bernat Super Value. Now, I do have more Bernat in other bins elsewhere. So now, since I have sat with this bin, I wrote down everything that's in here. I put it in a video so I won't forget. As I find the rest of it and I do my notes and do my videos, I will get them all together in one spot so I can decide what I want to keep and what I want to get rid of. Because this is a small sample of the Bernat Super Value that I have. I have more. Do I have a ton more? I don't know. Everything was just thrown hodgepodge into boxes and bins when I put it away and when I stored it. So I actually have no clear idea of what I own. Okay. Alright. The next bin. Let's see. I'll show you the end. Ready? Okay, it's got a whole bunch of variegated yarns in there. So, this bin, I had actually gone through it last night and wrote down a list of everything that's in here, and most of the stuff in this bin makes me so stupid happy, and you'll see as we get down to it. So, on the top, I have Herrschner's Worsted 8 yarn. Okay, Herrschner's is a catalog company that has a warehouse. And back in the day, you used to get their catalogs in the mail, and you'd send in your order, you know. But nowadays, they do it on the internet. So Herrschners.com, I love shopping there. Besides their own store brand of stuff, they sell almost a little bit of everything with yarn, and I do truly appreciate that. So, Herrschner's, this is their brand of acrylic yarn. It's 100% acrylic. They call it worsted because it is a number 4 medium worsted weight yarn, or Aran weight if you're over in the UK. The reason they call it worsted 8 because it's an 8-ounce ball of yarn. And when it's rolled like this, when it's wound like this, this is considered a ball. Because back in the day, you used to take the label off, right? And you'd scrunch it down, and then you would pull from the middle, and it would sit like a ball, okay? They don't all do that anymore, but it's still considered a ball of yarn. So, and this color is, does it even have a color? That's the thing about Herrschner's. They don't always put the color on the label. It's got a barcode, it's got numbers. So they probably have a color listed on their website, but let's just say it's teal, and it's a little bit dark, so maybe a dark teal or a deep teal. But I have 3 of these worsted 8s. This one is some version of pink. Actually, I like that. It's pretty soft. I like that shade of pink. And I've got one that is gray. It's actually a kind of like a pewter gray, but really light. You guys see that okay? It's cloudy out today. Okay, so I have a nice big skein of Red Heart Super Saver Ombre, where it goes from the darkest color down to the lightest color, or the lightest color out to the darkest. Okay, Ombre had a big following for a while there, a couple years ago. So it is a 10-ounce skein, 482 yards, 440 meters, 10 ounces or 283 grams. It is a number 4 medium worsted weight. It's 100% acrylic. This is called Deep Teal. I bought it, but I didn't do anything with it. I don't know, maybe I bought it because it was on sale or because of the color. I don't know. I can't even remember if I had plans for it. So since I can't remember, I will probably sell this one and let it go. Okay. Now this, I don't even think they make this anymore. This is one of my thrift store finds, okay? It's from Bernat, and it's called Denim Style. It is 70% acrylic and 30% cotton. And it is super, super soft and squishy. I didn't know an acrylic cotton blend could be like that. And the way it's twisted, and it's so soft and so pretty. And it does have a color number to it and a color name. Alright, the name says Canvas. But this is just it's a creamy, soft white. And I love it. Okay? It is only 3.5 ounces or 100 grams. So to me, that's not a lot since I'm a blanket maker. Here. Bernat Denim Style. I don't know. But I found it in my thrift store. They had 5 little skeins of it. I bought it. But it's not enough for me to make a blanket with. So I'm actually kind of stuck on what to do with it. And it keeps sitting here picking off cat fur. I should just leave the cat fur on there until I'm ready to do something with it, right? But I love this, and if you guys, if you have any ideas on what to do with it, maybe I'd make a nice sweater. Not that I'm a sweater maker, or I don't wear sweaters either. But anyway, I think it would make a nice sweater. You'd love that. Okay, now this. This is, I don't have any labels for this, but I know what it is. Okay? Because I bought so much of it at the time, and I've used most of it, and I love the colors. It's got some reds that go into like a fuchsia, and then a light pink, and it goes into white, and it fades into this highlighter green, or a neon green kind of color. You guys see that? Alright, so I had made something with this, and I didn't like what I had made, so I ripped it out. So, it is from Michael's, the craft store. Michael's has their own brand of yarn called Loops and Thread Impeccable. That's what this is. It's one of their variegated colors, and it's called Holland. Like Holland, the country that does tulips. Yeah, this reminds me of tulips. I've used this in so many projects back in 2014, 15, 16. I don't actually have any of those blankets anymore. They've been sold and given away. But I love this color, and I have 8 of these hand wound balls. It works out to be like 2 or 3 skeins. Because I was working on a blanket, but I didn't like the stitch that I had used, so I ripped it all out. And I couldn't find a color to match it. I couldn't find any reds that complemented it, or pinks, or that green. So what I'm going to do is I'm working on a blanket that my Patchwork Squares blanket. I make squares out of variegated yarn, okay? Variegated yarn. And I make these little squares, little 3-inch squares, and then I put the squares together and make a blanket out of them. That's where this is going to go. It's going to go in I have a cabinet over there where I'm keeping all of my variegated yarns. So it is a number 4 medium weight. It is 100% acrylic. It is from Michaels, Loops and Threads, impeccable, and it's called Holland. And I don't think they make it anymore, but it is an absolutely beautiful color, and I love it. Now I have to go find some place to put it down so I can go through the rest of the bin. Okay. You don't realize sometimes how much yarn you have until you start taking it out of the bins and the boxes, and you sit it next to you, and it's all like, oh my goodness, how many is that? Because that's what I've been going through when I go through these bins. It's a lot of stuff. Okay, so the rest of everything that's in here, it's all brand new. It is all number 4 medium worsted weight. It is all 100% acrylic. It is Red Heart with Love, and then the rest of it is Red Heart Super Saver. Okay, the Red Heart with Love, this color is called Water Lily. And Red Heart with Love, it's like Red Heart Super Saver, it's just softer. Okay. I'm trying to figure out how many ounces it is. 5 ounces for the skein, and 230 yards, 141 grams, or 211 meters. So that's roughly what all this is going to be size-wise, okay? All right, next color. Red Heart Super Saver. The color is called Butterfly, and I paid $2.88 for it at Walmart. So that's what I did. $2.88, and that W means Walmart. I do have a Walmart that has a little yarn section, and I was walking through one day because it's right next to the office supply section, and I was there getting a new notebook and pens and whatever, and I saw this, and I'm like, Butterfly? I love that. It's got so many colors. I can't even tell you. It does have red, orange, yellow, green, blue, purple. Blue? Does it have blue? Did it skip the blue and just go straight to purple? Possibly. With so many different shades of it. So, I have 4 of these. I cannot wait to dig into these. I love using variegated yarn. But you have to find the right pattern for it, or it does not work out at all. Sometimes it just looks like a jumbled mess of color. But I think my little patchwork squares is perfect for it. Plus I've got another pattern where I do it in rows to make a blanket, but I'll get to that, you know, in a couple weeks as I go through my blanket pile. So I've got 4 skeins of Butterfly, and I love this. I love this color. Okay. What's next? I've got 1 skein of Icelandic. I actually have more of these, but they're with the project that I worked on with it. It's a good color. It's blues and grays. It's actually really pretty when you work it up. So Red Heart Super Saver, and it's called Icelandic. This is a good color. I think they still make this one. And then we've got Pink Panther, which is black, and I want to say 2 or 3 shades of pink. This one can be another one of those, if you don't work it up in the right kind of pattern, it can, like, yeah, hurt your eyeballs when you look at it. It's a good color though. It's fun. This one is called Lagoon. I paid $2.50 for it at AC Moore. AC Moore was a craft store, but they closed down, I think, sometime in 2020. But that's a good color. It's very tropical looking. I like that. Then we've got Melonberry. It's got shades of peach and orange and yellow with some purples and pinks. It's very sunset-like. I don't know why they called it Melonberry, because it's got sunset vibes to it. But again, very pretty color. I love the variegated yarns like this. I really do. They just they make my heart go pitter patter. Alright, this one is called Macaw, M-A-C-A-W, like the bird. I guess that's why it's blue with some tropical feel to it. It's got a bunch of shades of blue. Yeah, I like that one too. And then this one is Desert Camo, which means camouflage. So it's got some greens and tans in it. It's alright. And then these two is, one is pink tones and this one's called purple tones. And it looks like I used a little bit of each of them for something. The pink tones, purple tones. And that just means that it's all shades of pink and all shades of purple. These two are pretty. I like them. I like them together. Alright, and then my last set in here is called Reef. R-E-E-F. It has got some teal, some turquoise, dark brown, light brown, medium brown, some little bit of white going on in there. I love this color. I love, 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 love this color. I'm still looking for the perfect blanket pattern for this because I've got 7 skeins of it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. And they were all purchased on the same day, so the manufacturing dates are all at the same time, so I don't have to worry about inconsistencies in the color. I love this color. So I love the blues and the browns together like that. They're beautiful. So 7 skeins of it, and skeins or how many ounces are they? 5 ounces. So 35 ounces of yarn. 1,400 yards. Guys have any ideas? Any kind of blanket patterns? If you do, if you have any ideas, drop a comment down below. Okay? Yeah, I'm sitting here with it. I'm going through. I should dig out my Stitch dictionary books. I have Stitch dictionary books. I might be able to find something in there. But if not, you know what? You guys, let me know. So that's 7 of them. It's a beautiful color. Okay, so that is everything for these 2 bins. Most of it, well, half of it is Bernat Super Value. The other half is mostly Red Heart Super Saver, and in all the variegated colors with some ombre thrown in, some Herrschner's Worsted 8, and some of this oddball stuff, this Bernat denim style. This stuff is so soft. I'm going to go hit the internet and see if they still make this or not. Because if they still make it, or if I can find some on eBay, I will buy more of it and make a blanket out of it. But it's actually so soft, it really would make a nice sweater. Not that I wear sweaters, but it would make a nice sweater. Okay, so I'm going to put all this stuff back in the bins. I'm going to put the bins away so I can dig out the next set for next week. I want to thank you guys for being there for me, for going through all this with me. It's hard to do it all by myself, so I feel like I'm like I've got some help, like I've got some support doing this. I did wind up with too much stuff. Just because I had the money to buy it and I wanted to didn't mean that I should have, you know. I am limited on space, I am limited on time, and there is such a thing as having too much stuff. You know, people like to joke and be like, oh, there's no such thing as too much yarn. Yeah, there is. And especially when you've got 30 bins of it and it's sitting in your house in the middle of your dining room because you have no other place to put it. It's too much. So, you know, take it from me. If you've got too much yarn in your living space, purge it, okay? It's okay to donate it. It's okay to sell it on eBay or wherever And for the stuff that is older that you inherited from your mom or your grandmom or somebody gave to you and it's not in the best condition, it's okay to throw it away. You're not being wasteful if you do that. I've had to do it myself, and it's a little hard at first, but then you realize, you know what? It's better. It's not usable. Like that bin I had from my shed where the squirrels were living in it. I'm like, no, I can save that. And my husband's like, no, no, you can't. It's going to smell bad, and just no, no. So it's okay to let it go. It's okay to, whichever way you choose. It's okay. All of it. It's okay. It's okay that you have too much to begin with. It's okay that you spent money on it to begin with. It served its purpose though, didn't it? It made you happy when you bought it, but is it still making you happy today with so much piled up around you? The answer for me is no. No, I'm not happy with this. It's excessive. So I'm doing what's best for me, you know? Um, but if you guys need a little bit of help or a little bit of encouragement, drop a comment down below. I'm pretty sure that we can help you out. Between you guys are awesome. The community sometimes in the crochet world is it. You guys are just wonderful with your encouragement and your support in what I'm doing. And for anybody that needs to leave comments down below, there's no judgment here. This is a no judgment zone, okay? So if you're struggling, by all means leave a comment. I will encourage you to do what's best for you. And anybody else you see comments for somebody who's struggling, give some words of encouragement, okay? We all need a little bit of unconditional love and support in what we're going through every single day. Every day. I know how hard it is, okay? I battle with depression and anxiety myself. I know it's not easy. Just reach out, okay? And just one step at a time. One small chunk of something at a time. Just baby steps, all right? Until you get the hang of it. So that's it for today's video. I will see you guys on Sunday when I do a follow-up video to my Karen Cakes blanket pattern crochet along, okay? It's probably my kids. I probably have to go. So I will catch you guys in the next one. Bye.